closed captioning brought to you by the Notaries Public of BC.
Joining us now is Rhonda Parker from Cruise Experts Travel. Hey there, Rhonda. Hi. Rhonda, Pat Kopp, our person of the week, loves her travel. And of course, this is your area of expertise, especially the cruises.
Yes.
Why is cruising such a great thing?
You get to go to multiple destinations, you get to experience multiple different areas, and you only have to unpack once. So once you get there, you're on your journey instead of packing and unpacking, and you get to see a lot of the world.
So you can get maximum experience and minimize stress.
Exactly.
I think there's a feeling that it's something just for a certain type of person. Who are on cruise ships these days?
The cruisers start at probably 20, 25 years old, and they go all the way up to the 90s to 100s. They have different cruise lines that are built for different demographics, for different types of people, for different interests. They have the smaller ones, they have the larger ones. So what we try and do is match what your interests are to what you want to experience. And by doing that, we could pretty well put you anywhere in the world.
So maybe walk through for 2 or 3 decades what a holiday might look like. So someone in their 50s is going to want something probably a lot more active than someone in their 80s.
That's right. So if you're in your 50s, what we probably would look at is probably something more that gives you the type of ship or the itinerary that allows you to be a little bit more independent, so that you're dropped off in the middle of the city, we'll just say Helsinki for instance, and you want to take your bikes and off you go, do a bike around the city. If you're looking at somebody that's 60 that wants to have a little bit more culture, so they want to maybe see a theater or they want to just get the history, so then you're going to have organized activities that way. 70s and 80s, you're going to find that people want to probably go and see gardens, not so much some of the history. Sometimes the history is you're on the move all the time wherever you're going. So they want to kind of meander a little bit more and maybe do a little bit of shopping, that kind of thing. So it will give you that experience as well. So you do have all the different age range and the different ships as well. The river cruising. Now, river cruising is it's just exploding, and it's because it's in the middle of Europe. So you get to go all the way through Europe. We'll just say the Grand European that goes from Amsterdam to Budapest, and you get to see all of these places. You only unpack once, and you're in the hearts of the city. So the age demographics and the ships, we can now marry you up to something like that as well.
So if you're in your 50s, you're riding bicycles.
That's right. Riding bicycles as the ship is going down the river, the canals. You're biking right beside them, and the others. The ages 60s, 70s, they're sitting on board having a beer, having tea, that kind of thing. So they do have lots of different offerings that way.
Well, I don't know, we have a lot of North of 49ers in their 60s, 70s, and 80s that still would be riding their bikes.
Definitely.
I tell you, but it's really nice to know there's options. Yeah. You've actually totally opened my eyes about cruising, because I sort of had this, I think, quite an old-fashioned view of what was possible. And I think for a lot of us, we think, you're stuck on a boat and you're going to just eat too much for 2 weeks, and that's that, right? And then a shuffleboard, right? Yeah. And it is so not that.
No, there's so many activities that you can, your day can be very full, or it doesn't need to be. And there are different cruises, again, that will address that.
Also, minimizing stress around things like flights, because one of the reasons you pick a cruise is that you don't have the hassle of airports. But if you want to get to the cruise, you sometimes have to do a lot of flying. So how do you deal with that?
So when we look at itineraries that would maybe do one-way flights, so we'll just say a Panama Canal, you can fly to Florida and cruise back to Vancouver. Sometimes also getting off in Victoria, being, of course, on the island. We have itineraries that are doing one-ways from going to Australia, cruising back to Vancouver, or San Diego, again on the West Coast. We always like to make sure that we get the client there at least one day before, and so that when they arrive, they have that day to acclimatize, get on the time changes, and then the next day they're right into their holiday. And they don't feel like they're rushed and that they've missed the first couple of days of their vacation.
I would imagine that for some people who have health issues, cruises present an opportunity to travel that otherwise wouldn't be there.
Definitely. What happens is when you're on, if you're needing a little bit of assistance embarking, getting onto the ship and disembarking, they do have people that will come and meet with you, wheelchair you, it's kind of like at the airports, you've got like the little carts that'll get you to and fro, the different gates and that. So they will assist you, they'll expedite you getting you on board the ship. Once you're on board the ship, you have doctors and a clinic that are there, so if anything goes wrong or you have any concerns, that you always have that security with you as well. And one of the things that we always suggest is definitely travel insurance. And we have very competitive travel packages that we offer to our clients, and it's just really important that you talk about that. It always seems to be that people will say, yes, so I want to go on a trip, and then they don't want to discuss that one aspect. But that covers you for many things that happen within our world.
Rhonda, I'm completely inspired. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
North of 49, a guide to the rest of your life.